attendees. Thanks for joining us for today's webinar, which is called Studying Electrical Engineering and Communications in Germany. Sorry for being a bit late. There were some technical issues that we had to deal with, but now we are here. Let me very quickly share with you my screen. I will make a very brief presentation and then we'll move to our speakers. So for the agenda for today, we will start with 𝘱𝘢𝘓𝑥, and we have Lydia Schindler with us, who will talk about Master of Science level program in Communication and Media Engineering. Then we will move to 𝘗𝘢𝘕𝘓𝑥, University of Applied Sciences. We have Professor Dr. Lothar Berger, who will talk about also Master's level program in Electrical Engineering and Embedded Systems. And also from the same university, we have guest Professor Dr. Raphael Ruf, and he will talk about Master of Science level program in Mechatronics. So, dear attendees, each presentation, each program will be for 15 minutes. After all the programs, all three programs are done with their presentation, we will have a live Q&A, question and answer section, where your questions will be answered live. Now, where you can send your questions, it is just next to the chat. There is a button, Q&A button, and you can use this button and then we'll monitor it and we'll make sure that all your questions are answered. So, yeah, I will skip this part because of we're late. Let me tell you some basic things. So when you're searching for English taught study programs, make sure to visit our website, My German University, and make good use of our study finder with all of its filters, which will make your life easier in terms of finding the programs quickly and more efficiently. We have, for example, regarding electrical engineering and communication, we have lots of degree programs on bachelor and master's level as well. And most of them are taught in English, which means that you do not need any knowledge of German to get into those programs and to, in most cases, to successfully complete them. Also, we have various subject pages where you can find the general information regarding studying in Germany, for example, regarding these particular disciplines and what you should expect from them, what are the rankings of universities that are offering programs in disciplines, and so on and so forth. Our tip, don't be guided by sole aspects only when you're searching for the programs. Take into account fees, rankings, names, cities, and much more, your individual interests, your individual background, and professional aspirations, of course. And yeah, I'm doing it very briefly, and we are moving now to the key part of our presentation. We are moving to Offenburg, University of Applied Sciences. Beautiful location. You can see where it's located, very close to France and Switzerland. Lydia will tell us more about that, and she will also, of course, mostly focus on the study program, Communication and Media Engineering. This is a master level program. Lydia, the floor is yours.
Well, thank you very much, Georgie, for this short and nice introduction. My name is Lydia, working here at the Graduate School of Offenburg University. And it's great to be here and having you to tell you a little bit more about our program here. It's Communication and Media Engineering at the Graduate School of Offenburg University. And I want to invite you to study here in English at Offenburg University and live in Germany at the same time. So you will have a complete program completely taught in English here, which is a very interesting combination of communication and media engineering, as the name already says. But at first, I want to give you a brief overview of the university in general, so that you know what to expect from Offenburg, and then go a little bit more into detail about the program itself, and then also tell you about our services and what to expect, what you can expect from us. So, as Georgie already said, we're here in the southwest of Germany. You see that here on the map, that we are close to France and to Switzerland, a beautiful region right in the Black Forest. That's how it's called. So it's a very touristic region. At the same time, you see here a picture just right next to the university, actually, very close, about 5 kilometers from here. And on the bottom, you also see that it's a picture of Strasbourg already, because we're, as I said, very close to the border. You're here in one of Germany's strongest economic regions, the southwest of Germany. It's a cross-national metropolitan area with Strasbourg, where we have the European Parliament and France. Basel, only an hour away, is in Switzerland already. And it's a very dynamic region with high employment prospects. So this is something our students and especially future graduates profit a lot from that fact. Also in sense of when they're looking for master thesis places in companies, practical trainings, and so on. And I personally just enjoy this beautiful surrounding here and the extraordinary living standard that we have. So, but looking at the university itself, we are a university of technology, business, and media. So this means these are the three areas we focus on, and that these are the areas we are good in. We do not have everything here, like sociology, psychology, and all these other subjects, but only these different subjects in one of these three areas. Right now, we offer around 25 bachelor degrees and 22 master degree programs in these areas. And we're one of the oldest universities of applied sciences here in southwest of Germany. And we're already founded in 1964 with praxis-oriented studies, as the name already says, applied sciences. So we have its emphasis in hands-on, in practical, not to learn only in theory, but actually try out what you learn in praxis also, in practical laboratories, for example, and so on. Right now we have around 4,000 students enrolled, about 12% are international students, and many cooperations with universities worldwide guarantee that we have a very international campus here, especially in the graduate school, and that's where this program is situated in. We have a very high percentage of international students, as these programs are taught in English. So you can definitely count with an international atmosphere here. And you also profit from the spacious enterprise network that the university has here in this region and also in the three different countries around, and the two different countries around. So the three countries, Germany, Switzerland, and France close by. And I personally, again, enjoy a lot this safe and friendly environment here. I feel very safe, even walking in the night in the streets here of Offenburg. So if you come from a big city somewhere around the world, this is definitely something you will enjoy here too. As we are rather small university, and it's also a very small city of about 60,000 inhabitants. It's a very familiar atmosphere here. And at the same time, you have all the infrastructure and everything that you need very close by. So we have at Offenburg University very well equipped laboratories and facilities that you can count with. There is this close connection to industry with the possibilities for practical trainings, as I already mentioned, and a small student-teacher ratio with personal attention from professors. So if I would think about where to study, if you're in this situation right now, I would definitely have a look at that. If you want to have the possibility to interact with the professor, a small student-teacher ratio is very important, and we can guarantee you that here in the graduate school, in this program, Communication and Media Engineering, we only admit between 15 to 25 students per batch. So you can definitely have this close contact and profit from the experience that the professors have and be able to ask questions directly and so on, work together with the team on different aspects, different works that you do, teamworks that you're doing and so on. And these professors all have experience of at least 3 years in private companies outside of the academic area. So this is also part of the fact that we are a University of Applied Sciences and we have this practical emphasis. You can count on that fact that the professors are able to bring this experience into the class and share it with you. Nevertheless, we also offer the possibility to pursue a doctoral degree here at Offenburg University. We have several professors who have the possibility to grant a PhD, and we also work together with other universities, comprehensive universities here around in this region. So there are around 45 doctoral degree students here at Offenburg University right now. But now let me go a little bit more into detail about the program, Communication and Media Engineering. If you're interested in that program, you should definitely, you should have a background either in electrical engineering or computer science or also media technology, but it's great if you have an interest in all these three areas because it's a very unique combination and it's a very interdisciplinary master's degree program. So it's tailored to meet the challenges of the multimedia age, and it's been very successful in that for over 20 years. Nevertheless, we always adapt it and make it, adapted to the newest developments in the market. And it's very successful until today, therefore. You can gain practical experience in internships or research projects within the university or in the industry during this program. And the study program combines essential elements of communication with innovative multimedia issues. And once you graduate from this program, you're very well prepared for the professional market. There's a great demand and for graduates who have these kind of skills, this combination. Going a little bit into detail and even more into the modules, you see that there are different modules, and it's a combination of communication, media, software engineering, non-technical courses, and the projects. I won't list all the details and courses that you have. Have a look at the slide here. You see that it's a very interesting and unique combination, especially if you want to work as an engineer in the area of media after your graduation. So that's what the program prepares you perfectly for. You can also have a closer look at the modules at our website, where you will also find the link to our application portal. So we do the whole application process here at Offenburg University. Therefore, if you're interested, you have a look at the website, and if you want to apply, just go to the application portal, leave your personal data there, and especially your transcript of records, and you will get a first feedback of the coordinator of the program, if your profile fits to the program or not. The application deadline is March 31st, although the lectures only start in October. But as we know that the visa process sometimes takes time, we have that early application deadline, so you have enough time to go into the visa process and prepare yourself for your stay here at Offenburg and in Germany. What's the requirements for this? What are the requirements for this program? As I already mentioned, you have to have a bachelor degrees that fits to the program. So either electrical engineering, computer science with interest in media. So these are usually the typical backgrounds of students who start this program. If you're not sure about it, you can always turn to the coordinator of the program if your program fits or not, or just do the first application step and you will get a feedback anyhow. The fees for this program are for non-European citizens, €1,810. These includes the state tuition fees of €1,500, and we are able to exempt 5% of our students from these tuition fees. However, I have to admit this is only possible for students who are already inscribed, because then they will, the selection committee will evaluate your progress in the first semester. And therefore, it's only possible to get this exemption for the second or third semester. Once you already study here, you can apply for it. So you cannot count on it for the first semester. Anyhow, you cannot count on it because there are only 5% of students exempted. But that's a scholarship that we can offer. And there are also some small partial scholarships you can apply for, but they're only small help in financing your studies. And again, only from the second semester on. So if you need a scholarship from the beginning, I would recommend you to have a look at the scholarship database of the DAD, for example, and see if they have a fitting program with which they can fund you, or this institution can fund you, and then you can come to our university in order to study the program. Additionally, I can offer you a lot of support services here at Offenburg University. So we're very proud to be able to say that some years ago we participated in a survey which was also organized by the DAD, German Academic Exchange Service, and many other universities participated in that too. And our students at that time rated us #1 in the arrival assistance for international students. So we were very proud to get that feedback, but nevertheless, we always try to improve that even more. And we can offer you therefore assistance in finding accommodation. We have a senior buddy program, which means that an experienced student will get in contact with you before your arrival, and you can ask your questions. He will pick you up at the train station, help you around, and show the most important things during the first few days of your stay here, so that you arrive here and have a nice welcome and get to know everything you need to know. Additionally, there is always the individual support and advice of our coordinators, and there's one coordinator for each of these international master degree programs of our graduate school, which are 7 altogether. And communication and media engineering is one of them, and you will have a coordinator that will accompany you during the whole study program. We also offer German summer language school. So in September, you're very welcome to attend the language courses, the intensive language courses for a whole month in order to learn some German. Although it's not necessary for the program, we also always advise that this is a great start into your program, and it's always very helpful to know German, especially if you think about maybe staying in Germany for job afterwards, so after your graduation. So in case you think about that, we recommend you to study German even before you arrive already, and then improve your German during the course. And therefore, we also have ongoing language courses during the lecture period. But we also want you to have a good time here in Offenburg. Certainly, the success in your studies is very important, but it's also important that you feel welcome here, that you have the possibility to integrate, that you get to know other people. And therefore, we also want you to have a good time here at Offenburg and in Offenburg, the city of Offenburg and the region. And we offer therefore cultural and social program with excursions and get-togethers. There are also sports offered, as for example, next by we have a lake with a boat, and you can go sailing with our sailing club, or you can go mountain biking, dancing, and so on. as we have this beautiful Black Forest surrounding, there are many outdoor possibilities. And this very special program is also our senior service, which is an initiative bringing together senior citizens and international students. And it's just a great possibility to get to know people here from the city who are volunteering just because they want you to feel welcome here in Offenburg, and they just want to get to know a little bit from your culture and share the German or this regional culture here with you. And therefore, it's a great possibility to get to know people from here, get to know the culture, meet other people from outside of the university. And many students have benefited a lot from this initiative. And it just shows the open atmosphere that you have here in Offenburg in general, and the people who are used to this international interaction because of the borders very close to Offenburg anyhow. Certainly, getting to the end of your program, you can also benefit from our job application trainings and the recruiting event we have once a year here at the university. And I always say it's amazing to see how that has grown in the last years. We had even to go to a fairground last time because there was not enough space here anymore at the university. And it just reflects the great interest of companies in our graduates, and it's a great sign, and you can really take advantage of that. And last but not least, we also have an international alumni network of the graduate school, so we are happy to stay in contact with you after your graduation, and certainly want to give you the possibility to network among each other in this alumni network too. And just participate in the events that we offer for you and so on. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to go on with my slide. But anyhow, what can you expect from Offenburg? If you study here communication and media engineering at the graduate school, you can count on an English taught program with a very high quality level, with this taught in small groups. You will definitely have a very intercultural experience here, and you can count on comprehensive individual services. And I'm sure once you finish your studies, you will also have excellent career opportunities. So thank you very much for your attention. And I hope I could give you a little bit of an insight of our program, Communication and Media Engineering, and interest you for it. So if you think that could be something for you, have a look at our website, and I'm sure it's definitely, Offenburg University is definitely a place for you to build your future. So I will be looking forward to your questions afterwards, and thank you once again for your attention.
Great. Thank you very much, Lydia. As always, very nice presentation, very informative one. And there are some questions you can already deal with if you would like to. But before that, let me, meanwhile, let us move to our next speaker. So let me introduce once again Professor Dr. Lothar Berger, and he is from Ravensburg-Weingarten University of Applied Sciences. So you can see we are not moving that far away. Location is still very good. And so we are talking now about master's level program in electrical engineering and embedded systems.
And Ravensburg-Weingarten University of Applied Sciences and our master course in electrical engineering and embedded systems. Next slide, please.
Yes.
So this is the location of Germany, certainly on the world map in the heart of Europe. Next slide, please. Then here you can see some pictures of Ravensburg and Weingarten surroundings in southern Germany, Lake Constance, the mountains, the old city of Ravensburg. Next slide, please. Then this is a photo of our main campus in summer, of course. Next slide, please. This is a photo from one of our lecture rooms. Next slide, please. And from one of our labs, automotive and autonomous driving lab, which follows a hands-on approach in teaching and research. Next slide, please. So this is our campus map. So I'm not sure if my mouse pointer is visible, most likely not. No, I'm not presenter. Then I just say that on the top H, this is our main lab building. J is an additional lab. A, B, C are lecture buildings. LT additional labs, and VM also additional lecture buildings, and NF labs for the basic sciences. So it's quite a big campus, but everything is in walking distance. Next slide, please. So this is these are the international firms which we have collaborations and where also student jobs are offered. So in the center you can see our university logo, and close are the headquarters of ZF, which is an automotive supplier, Rolls-Royce, but this is not the car company, but the aerospace engine company. ZEISS is an optical company. Airbus, of course, builds planes, and a little bit farther away, Bosch, Mercedes, Siemens, and Audi. Next slide, please. So this is now the Master of Engineering in Electrical Engineering and Embedded Systems. So you can reach our homepage by the link below, and then you see this photo, and there are the most important information. So it's 3-semester period. The degrees, the Master in Engineering. We have 30 places in winter, and very important, the application deadline is 15th of April. And there is an apply button on this web page. This will lead you to a form which has a FAQ. That means all the questions that you may have should be properly answered. Next slide, please. Okay, this is our study program. So on the left, you can see in blue the block for the embedded systems related courses. Embedded Computing 1 deals with embedded Linux, Embedded Computing 2 with real-time operating systems, embedded control with the implementation of control algorithms and automation in microcontrollers. The violet block are the common subjects, communication 1 and 2, near field and wireless, including WLAN, signal processing 1, sensor and actuator signals. Then the green block, these are the profile modules. There are 2 study profiles or specializations. One is System on Chip Modeling and Design, plus System on Chip Operation and Test, plus Computer Architecture. And the other one to choose is Computer Vision, plus LiDAR and Radar Systems, plus Signal Processing 2, which is digital filters. The orange block are the basic subjects. Applied mathematics is basically a repetition of the bachelor mathematics, which is important for the other subjects. Numerical methods deals mainly with programming, mathematical methods for dealing with issues in the signal processing, embedded computing, embedded control, and advanced control systems is control engineering. That means the advanced methods that are necessary for the other subjects and especially for embedded control. And in yellow, the elective module, which can be taken from any other master course, for example, mechatronics or mechanical engineering or computer science, or you can do a research project in one of our labs. Next slide, please. So this is the first study profile, System on Chip. This deals with ASIC design, mixed signal IC, FPGA, and HDL. The focus is mainly on hardware development. Next slide, please. Then the study profiles sensor data processing. This is intended towards autonomous driving, machine learning, and Industry 4.0, and the focus is mainly on software for embedded systems. Next slide, please. Then the possible research projects. So our main research areas are e-mobility, that means electric drives, energy storage. So you can do a research project here in hardware or software. Next slide, please. And the other big research area is control and process engineering. So here you can do research projects in electrical heating and cooling plants, applications both in hard and software. So on the left you can see here some experiment for heating and cooling and some simulation of it. Next slide, please. And the other important research of our control and process engineering is for semiconductor manufacturing plants in hard and software development. So on the top you can see a wafer, which is used for fabricating computer chips, and a photomask, which is used to project the circuits on the computer chips by lithography. And on the bottom, you can see the installation of a stepper. That is a machine which does this lithography with the photomask and wafer. And this, just to give an imagination, costs about $200 million per machine. And as said, we do not fabricate devices, but we do research in the processes and machinery control that is used to fabricate these devices. Next slide, please. Okay. After completing your master course, you can do additional research. There is a PhD program, and for the research areas, you can look at these 4 links on our homepage. Next slide, please. And of course, very important for you, the admission. So you need a bachelor's degree in electrical engineering or electronics or computer science. Or if you have another bachelor degree, you can contact us if it is sufficient for admission. The final grade must be minimum 2.5 in the German grading system. You should have good mathematics skills as shown in your bachelor's transcript. 210 ECTS are usually required. However, if you only have 180 ECTS in your bachelor course, you can make this up by adding 30 ECTS elective modules to your master's studies at our university. And you have to have proven skills in English, so documented either by the TOEFL minimum 70 or ELTS with minimum 6. Next slide, please. And there is an admission bonus. Your overall grade can be improved if you show a GRE exam with minimum 161 in quantitative reasoning, or if you can provide programming certificates in C, C++, C#, or Java, or Julia, or MATLAB, or Python, or Rust. And if you never heard of these, so Julia is basically a possible open source successor to MATLAB, and Rust is a possible successor to C, but it remains to be seen if this works out or not. Yeah, then also proven relevant work experience with a minimum of 1 year in a company after your bachelor, and also a published research paper depending on the quality of this publication. Next slide, please. Yeah, there is a semester and tuition fee of 1,685 euro. This is quite small in comparison to the US, but it's still some amount of money. But you get several benefits. So for example, we have a student dormitory. That means if you are an enrolled student, then for a very small accommodation fee, you can get accommodation in this dormitory. Now, if you have further questions which are not answered on our homepage or in the online admission form, then please contact this email address, application EMM, and your questions will then be forwarded to me. I'm Lothar Berger, and I'm the program coordinator and also the head of the control and process engineering research. And if you live in India, you may also contact Let's Bridge It IT, Miss Iris Becker, which is located in Pune, and there is an office phone and a mobile phone, which is shown here. Next slide, please. Okay, and finally, greetings from our lab cat, which has their own Instagram account with the link provided here. And if you have any further questions in the end of this webinar, there is a chance to answer them. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Professor Berger. I think it was nice collaboration. Let us move now to our next guest. So again, we are staying in the same university, which means same location. And Professor Dr. Roof now will talk about different study program, also master's level, but in mechatronics. So Professor.
Good afternoon once more. My name is Raphael Roof, and I'm going to talk about the second master program at 𝘈𝘥𝘷𝘦𝘳𝘴𝘪𝘈 University, which is the Master Mechatronics. So the outline of my talk will be, first I will talk a little bit about the university itself, then about the study program, admission criteria, application process, and yeah, at the end we will have a Q&A session as well. So regarding the university, so my colleagues have mentioned a lot. So by now I think you know where Germany is located on the globe, here. And this is Germany, consisting of 16 federal states, and yeah, we are located in Baden-Württemberg here, in the very south of it, where this little red cross is located here. So better have a view of it. So this is yeah, Weingarten when you look southwards. So you see city, and then you see the Lake Constance, and farther back you see the Alps. So Lake of Constance is approximately 30 to 40 kilometers away from our location, and yeah, beginning of Alps, I would say like 60 kilometers. So all within reach. Yeah, this is the main building of our university. Professor Berger has shown you that already, and the campus plan was there as well. So yeah, we have a quite concentrated campus plan. Everything is reachable on foot. And some facts about the university. So currently we have approximately 3,600 students enrolled. We have 110 professors and 4 departments or faculties, which are social work, care and health, technology and management, mechanical engineering, and electrical engineering and computer science. And this is a department where we 2 guys are from. Study courses, we have 25 bachelor courses and 12 master courses, and the 2 courses which are presented today are from the scope of these 12 master courses. Some web links, top-down approach. First, this is the site of the whole university. Then next, this is the homepage of the electrical engineering department. This is the website for the course from Mr. Berger, Electrical Engineering and Embedded Systems, and this is from my course, Mechatronics. So these last 2 addresses are pretty useful because there you will also find important documents like the module handbook for the study programs, as well as study regulations. So many more informations beyond that, what we are able to tell you now within the 15 minutes that we have. All right, next, let's talk about the study program. And this time I will focus only on mechatronics because electrical engineering has already been done. So, but the courses are quite similar. Mechatronics seeks as a final degree a Master of Science. We have a study period of 3 semesters. We always start in the winter term, and as my colleague already mentioned, the most important date is the 15th of April, because that will be the closing date for the following winter semester. Admission requirements, there will be another slide with some more details, but it's a bachelor degree in mechanical or electrical engineering or computer science or a similar subject. So it's quite a big pool of preliminary bachelor courses that are accepted here. What you need is a final grade of at least 2.5 in the German grading system and 210 ECTS credits, or which is equivalent to a 4-year education in the bachelor. And you need some English certificate as well. So this is the curriculum of mechatronics, but I would rather focus on the next 2 slides, which give you an overview over compulsory subjects first. So as you probably know, mechatronics is a mixture of the 3 disciplines: mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, and computer science. And this is where our study program revolves around. So what we are trying to do is to educate you in all 3 fields, or that when you leave our university, that you have sound knowledge in all 3 fields. For that reason, we have a kind of a versatile curriculum. So depending on your prior knowledge, you will get different subjects focusing on the fields where you are probably still lacking some knowledge. So as an example, most of our students come from the field of mechanical engineering. So they have a degree in mechanical engineering. So we are trying to educate them more in the fields of computer science and electrical engineering. And what you see besides these 3 pillars is the compulsory subjects, which I tried to loosely allocate to the respective disciplines. So for example, when we take automation lecture, it is has to do with computer science mostly, but also a little bit with electrical engineering, and so on. I'm not going to into detail of all of them. However, there are some subjects which cannot be allocated here. One of them is our mathematics course, which is 2 lectures actually. And the intention of this is math, obviously, and this belongs to all of the 3 pillars. What we also have in second semester is a compulsory scientific project. This is some project with a specific topic that you have to work on. So every professor has different approaches on this. If you're doing this with me, for example, it's likely to do with integrating a sensor to make it communicate with a microcontroller, for example. So this is to foster some practical knowledge and also working in the lab. And of course, since we are talking about a master program, there is also the master thesis at the very end of the course. Maybe let's go back here. So usually what you have in each of the 3 semesters, you can see that here, there is one elective module here and there. So that means these are modules where you have the freedom to choose something that is of interest. And in this slide, I have compiled a small excerpt on courses that are usually offered. So what you also will find here is some courses from Professor Berger's study program, but not limited to that. So here you can focus on your own interests and choose something that is interesting for you. Now I have just picked 2 lectures where I'm going to tell you a little bit more about the contents, and it's no surprise, these are the 2 lectures that are taught by me. The first one is the automation lecture, which we had in the previous slide already. So this is dealing with microcontrollers, and we are using modern ARM Cortex MCUs from STM. We also developed some platform that we are distributing to the students, so everyone gets their own microcontroller board with some additional features, and you can do hands-on work with this. So in this course, we are using C programming language, which is quite of a standard in microcontroller programming, and we are going to discuss all the peripherals available in modern microcontrollers, like, I'm not going into too much detail here, timers, communication, peripherals, and stuff like that. What's also important in this lecture, I'm not only teaching you this hardware things, but also patterns for developing embedded software. So this is kind of a plan that is taught. So how to get started, you have some certain problem to solve, and the best approach is not to just sit there and start coding, but have some thoughts about how to approach the respective problem. For example, you could use a finite state machine or a real-time operating system. This is also a major part of this lecture. Second lecture I want to present is process interface equipment, which is kind of the electrical equivalent of the automation lecture. So here you are basically learning how to connect things to the microcontroller, not only the microcontroller, also industrial control systems like PLCs. So here we are talking about interfacing, measurement amplifier, different signals, how to adapt and convert them. Sensors is a big topic, so we are talking about the most often used sensors that are object detection, pressure and temperature, and also about actuators, so relays, motors, and inductive loads in general. Now, this is just a brief overview of the 2 lectures. If you are interested in the contents of the other lectures as well, I would recommend you to go to our web page and download the module handbook. There you will find, like, for every module, 2 pages in the PDF describing contents, preliminary knowledge and things like that. How many credit points? How does the exam look like? And things like that. Okay, some of this stuff I told you already. So depending on your bachelor education, we will assign you to one of 4 different sets of compulsory subjects. If you're interested in how these tables look like, again, go to our homepage, download the SPO document. There you will find these tables and which of those subjects that we have seen before will be compulsory for your background. Yeah, as I said, usually we will have 1 optional course per semester, which you can choose freely from some list of subjects. Yeah, one thing that is sometimes asked for, but unfortunately not allowed, you cannot choose bachelor subjects as optional courses. The only exception is what Professor Berger also mentioned. So if you're coming with a 180 ECTS bachelor degree, then you have to pad up 30 credits. And regarding those 30 credits, you may choose subjects from the bachelor courses as well. But in my experience, this doesn't happen too often, but yeah, just to let you know. So in total, since we have 3 semesters, we are seeking 90 ECTS. So that's the goal of the study program to successfully complete. And this includes the master thesis, which is located in the 3rd semester and has a value of 25. Okay, let's move on to the admission criteria, also very similar to embedded computing program. So what you need is a completed bachelor degree in mechanical or electrical engineering or computer science or a similar subject. For example, in recent times, people have shown up with a degree in mechatronics, which makes obviously sense as well to then further study in the master mechatronics. You need 2.5 final grade converted to the German grading system and 210 ECTS, which usually corresponds to a 4-year full-time study program. If you want to look up whether your prior university is on the list of recognized university, there is this homepage available from ANABIN, where you can go to and search for your university. And if it's listed there, then it's a recognized university. English skills is the same as well. So you can either have a TOEFL test result, which should be then at least 70 out of 120, or an IELTS test with an overall band score of 6.0. Yeah, we have some grade point bonuses, so you can improve your grade by having one of these things here available. And I have also added the amount of grade improvement that is attainable. So, for example, if you have professional experience, you have already worked in the industry as one of those engineer fields mentioned above, then you will be awarded 1.1 grade point per year with a maximum of 0.2. So the maximum time that is considered is 2 years, right? If you had any research activity in the relevant fields, then you will get up to additional 0.2 grade improvement. Yeah, obviously depending on the quality of your research paper. Another possibility is to have a GRE test where we only consider the quantitative reasoning part of this test, and if you have at least 161 points, you will get another 0.2 improvement. And this has been taken also from electrical engineering. So yeah, this is also valid for master mechatronics. If you have verified programming skills, you may gain another 0.2 maximum. There is also a restriction on the absolute total maximum points that you can reach. So if you have all of that, then you will still get only 0.6. But this is substantial. So for example, you may have a grade over a grade of 3.1, and by getting all these bonuses, you will improve to 2.5 and still be able to get admission, probably, to the course. Okay, finally, let's move on to the application process, which is quite simple. Professor Berger actually had a better slide regarding this, so it boils down to going to the course homepage and click some icon here. Okay, what I can add is that usually our web pages are in English, but there is always some button where you can switch the language to English, which makes sense. What I have also included is some list of contact persons. So first of all, the two study deans, so me and Professor Berger, so you can directly reach us by these emails. It's generally like given name dot family name at 𝑟we.de, or the application emails that have been shown by Professor Berger as well. We have one person responsible for the career service. This is 𝘗𝘠𝘪𝘥𝘷𝘦𝘳𝘴𝘪𝘠, and I think I have seen her in the chat as well before. We have an international office, Ramona Herrmann. International office is responsible for things like, yeah, we have a welcome week. So if you are coming to Weingarten to study, then study programs, so lectures will usually start in October, but you will be asked to come earlier to get some, we call that a welcome week, where you get to know things like accommodation, arriving in Germany, how to get insurances set up and things like that. And this is what Ramona Herrmann does. So once you get admission, it's probably a good idea to contact her. Regarding admission itself, Fabienne Damasch is responsible for that, and I'm a little bit sad that she is not here today, because if she's here, she is our most knowledgeable person for all kinds of admission-related questions. So if you have questions like that, of course, we are trying to ask them as well, but word of caution, we are not as good as Frau Damasch regarding this. All right, and that's it. Thanks for listening, and that's the end of my talk. And now I think we can have questions.
Great. Thank you very much, Professor. Very comprehensive presentation. Yeah, we can now move to the live Q&A session. We have just 5 minutes left, so let us use for briefly to shape up the Q&A session. Let me start with Professor Berger and Professor Ruf for RWU. The general question was, one student wanted to just to double check for sure that if a student with an automotive engineering background qualifies for the study programs, for your study programs. Let's start with Professor Berger, maybe.
That depends on the contents. If there is sufficient electrical engineering inside it, then of course it will qualify. Just send it and you will get a reply. And for the mechatronics, it should qualify, because usually it should have enough mechanical related stuff inside. That also can be checked. You
Yeah.
can also apply for both. That means you can apply for mechatronics and then choose as a second option if you don't get admitted the electrical engineering.
Okay.
But do not
Yeah,
apply
simple
for
answer
both
is
separately.
it's possible for mechatronics.
All right. Great. Thank you, both of you. Thanks a lot. Lydia, that was very first question, which I think good to make students sure that there will be no problem with the degree. Could you once again just to ensure them that that totally is fine?
With what degree? Sorry. Yeah.
So the question was, as it's not a classical university, might there be any problems with recognizing the degree overseas?
No, the Offenburg University is a state university, and it's you will get an internationally recognized degree in Master of Science if you study communication and media engineering. So all our degrees are internationally recognized, and this one is especially very, it's a program that has a lot of recognition anyhow. And all of our programs are certified and recognized, so you don't need to be worried about that at all.
Okay, perfect. Thanks, Lydia. Professor Ruf, a question for you. Is there a direct application or via any intermediary?
Well, both things are possible. You can apply directly via the homepage, but we also have lots of students who apply via any intermediary institution. So that's completely up to you.
Okay, great. Professor Berger, question for you. Good mathematical skills. You mean also 2.5 grade in mathematical subjects, or what do you mean?
Exactly. So you have to have a good overall grade, 2.5, and in addition, it will be checked if in your bachelor transcript you also have an average of 2.5 in your mathematical subjects.
Thank you very much. Lydia, this one student also wanted to check out with you whether there is any flexibility in terms of English language requirement. Could you once again outline this, like whether the numbers that you mentioned for IELTS and TOEFL are the final ones, right?
Those are the final ones. Yeah, I have to admit that we are very strict in that. You need to present either TOEFL 79 internet-based or IELTS 6.0 in each field of the test, each band.
Okay, great. And because of the time, I would like to ask one more general question for three of you. There was a question regarding so let me read it out first. Are all of these programs free of admission restrictions? I think in German it is called NC-frei. So the question is, let me paraphrase it. So if I meet all the requirements that you mentioned, will there be any chance that I will still not be able to get into the program because, for example, there were more applications than the spots and there were some better applications than I had? So this is the question. Lydia, let me start with you.
Yeah, we do not have an NC, but we do have a selection process. So we do have more application than students that we can admit. And therefore, there is a university-owned selection process for each program. And for communication and media engineering, the final decision is taken by a selection committee. And the selection committee, well, and the first step, even in the first step of the selection process, they will definitely look at your grade, your average grade, and they will compare it with the other applications. But it's not the only criteria for the selection. So you have a better chance the better your grade is. But even if your grade is not among the first third of your class, for example, you may still have a chance because they also look, well, it depends on the competitors anyhow, the other applications, and it depends on other criteria too. For example, depending on the grades you have in specific courses, which are especially important for this course of communication and media engineering, and also your motivation letter, your practical experience. So all this is taken into account and when they do the final selection at the end.
Okay. Great. Thank you very much, Lydia, for a very comprehensive and clear answer, as always. Yeah, now, Professor Berger, what would you say from your program side?
Yeah, so first of all, you have to have overall 2.5 grade. Then the bonus is applied, which improves your grade. That means you can get on a better position on the list. And if there are too many applications, the limit is increased. That means it could have happened that, for example, a 2.3 is needed in the end for admission.
Okay, that's good to know. Thank you. Thank you very much. And Professor Ruf, from your side?
Yeah, basically the same thing, but in mechatronics, it's like we have quite a lot of applications. So you likely need to have a much better grade than 2.5 to get admitted. But it depends on from year to year how many applications we receive.
Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you very much. There are some questions regarding GPAs, and I also put the GPA calculator, dear attendees, in the chat. You can see there that in Germany, it's not like an American system. It's on the contrary. So 1.0 is the highest one. So 2.5 would be good, so to say, a good grade. But you can check out more in the GPA calculators. There was some question. That's why I put it in the chat. So yeah, great. With that being said, dear guests, thank you very much for your presentations. Thank you very much for answering the questions. Dear attendees, thank you for your questions and your interest. Hopefully, you'll be able to get into one of those programs, the desired one. If you have more questions to them, get in touch with them, and they will help you out to clarify your doubts. If you have any general questions like GPA, German GPA, like there were lots of questions regarding application procedures, also visa issues or whatever it is, you can get also in touch with us. You can read our articles and you can attend also our general webinars where we talk about these kind of general issues when it comes to studying in Germany. We will be happy to help you as well. That being said, for now, thank you very much once again, and I hope to see you on our future webinars as well. Take care and bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.